This episode of Talk Dodgers to Me, we get into some of our losses, but we stay positive, and we really gave Adam a piece of our mind.
And he sure gave us a piece of his. And how happy he was that his Cubs beat us all weekend, and he was there to witness it.
Well, not all weekend. We took away game 1.
We started with a win and ended with a win, so we're just staying in that positive mindset and going to continue winning, because that's what the Dodgers do.
That's what we do.
This episode is presented by Legends Attic. We
have some amazing events coming up. Steve Sachs episode's about to drop.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was really fun to talk to him.
I can't wait. I wasn't in that one, so it'll be really fun to watch it.
It was great to learn about his playing days, but also he's got this really cool NFT, something I've never seen before.
Wow.
It's baseball related. It might be in every stadium in the future.
Wow.
So definitely stay tuned for that one. That'll be out in a couple days.
Yeah, and then just follow along on our Instagrams. Follow Legends Attic. They have some really cool events coming up.
We'll be at all of them.
We will be at all of them, and it'll keep you guys updated. Come hang out with us. Enjoy the episode.
I just want somebody to talk Dodgers to me. In 1947, Jackie Robinson debuted in Major League Baseball.
He
was heckled. And
I did a book report on him.
Really?
Yeah. I just love that he had my name.
That's true.
He had such an inspiring story. Mm-hmm. I think for a little kid, it was really easy to read. It's inspiring.
Absolutely. I did a lot of research on it last year when we first had the podcast. And, you know, you think about things from his perspective and trying to just get through each day while being yelled at and taunted. And they talk about having the mental mindset and how baseball players work on that so much.
I know. And then having that all
what tools did he have at that time? You know, no one was talking about that stuff yet.
The thing that was scary and sad that it didn't really just end at the field, you know, and it really trickled into making sure of safety and all the things, not to mention, you know, when you're a player already, when you win, it's great. And sometimes when you lose and you're not doing well, people turn against you already. Mm-hmm. You know, so it's probably just a double whammy.
Even for the fans, I remember reading that he would tell the black fans that would come to the games, dress to the nines. Do anything you can to prevent people from hating on you. Mm-hmm. And just like things like that, like making sure they're so dressed up that no one will say anything. And just things that I never think about.
It's so funny. When I was working at the Langham, a lot of the teams played there. And I forget what team was in town, but they all went together to watch it. And I remember them coming back to the hotel when they got out. All of them were like just so touched and blown away and like just inspired. And
they all watched what?
They went and watched the movie Jackie Robinson when it came out into theaters.
42?
Yeah, 42. Yeah. And then they came back and it was cool to see.
Oh, that's really cool that they did that together as a team.
Yeah, gosh, I want to. It had to have been
the Giants.
The Giants, or no, because it wasn't like they were the only ones. But I feel like they just had a really close ball club at that time, which was cool. But I just remember a lot of them coming back and just being very inspired. And no, it's sad. It's sad to think of people and what they went through to bring hope and a lot of inspiration to a lot of other people. But it's just, I guess, part of it and part of evolving and going through the hard times, I guess. Yeah.
So, yeah, there's so much to it. But he really paved the way. Mm-hmm. And I'm so glad that MLB honors him every year, that every team honors him. I can't wait to see all our guys wearing the 42 jerseys. Can't wait to get our own.
I know. We get to go.
And I'm wearing my favorite shirt. This probably is my favorite thing that I own for many reasons. It was the first Dodger shirt I bought when I moved to LA. Okay. So I've had this for almost 14 years, and it has rips and stains, but I don't care. I'll wear it until it's a rag.
I was going to say, it doesn't really look like rips and stains, but
they're hidden.
It looks like worn, but those are the best.
But I found it at a little vintage shop and became friends with the owner, Petey, who I love, and he sells great sports stuff. And just, my first Dodger purchase.
I love that. Mm-hmm. So we're going back to Dodger Stadium tonight, but we were able to go for game 1 versus the Cubs.
I don't even know if we're like doing the episode. I guess we are.
We are. We are rolling.
Welcome back.
I just felt like I should just keep going till we
Well, at
stop.
first he's like, can you guys just talk? And then we just started talking for 5 minutes.
That's why we're here, baby.
Welcome back to Talk Dodgers to Me. I'm Melissa Meyer,
I'm Jaclyn Ruiz.
and we're here on Jackie Robinson Day.
Yeah.
And we're going to the game tonight. I can't wait.
I can't wait. It was so fun to be back. It was so fun to be back.
Anytime I get in a bad mood, I'm just going to think, I'm going to a Dodger game soon.
I know.
Because walking in, just even like pulling in and parking and walking up, it's just pure joy.
Well, it was fun. We got to do game 1 of the Cubs together. It was our first team outing at a Dodger game together, just us.
Was it?
Well, when else have we been with Adam?
Oh, you haven't come with us.
No, I don't get invited.
You're always invited.
You don't want to come. You only wanted to come because it was the Cubs.
That's not true.
And you went all weekend, and you had a great time, so.
I did.
That's
The
awesome.
Saturday game was wonderful.
Yeah, I know.
I can't
honestly, I really enjoyed the whole Miggy Rojas thing on Saturday.
Well, I had a little bit of mixed feelings about
Yeah.
it, but we'll get to
there.
it.
Yeah. Okay, so when we went to the stadium, it was so fun. We got to see Alicia, and
She's so sweet.
I know.
We bought her a beer the last time we saw her when we were hanging, and it must have been on her mind since then
Yeah.
that she owed us. And she's like, "Are you girls here? I want to buy you a beer."
I know. And Marcel had bought her a beer. She wanted to repay that one. And I was like, I told Marcel, he's like, isn't that cool when people think that way? Like, just like, yeah, I like that. She was, she's always
Very
so fun
considerate.
to see. Yeah, very considerate. And we ran into Liz, your sporty bag.
Oh, I love
And that was
seeing
the
Liz.
first time I got to actually meet her in person. We've talked so much over social media, and she's such a support. We love to support her. And I felt like I knew her, but it was my first time.
I didn't even realize that was your first time meeting her until we did meet her. And we're talking about Liz, who has the brand Your Sporty Bag, and we do the Talk Dodgers to Me bags with.
Yeah,
And
and
she's
the
just the
straps.
sweetest. Oh, those Talk Dodgers to Me straps I'm obsessed with.
Yeah. Yeah, they're really cute.
And she sent me a new version of the bag that I'm going to try out for the first time tonight. So we'll definitely be posting about that.
Ooh.
And she's just so thoughtful and sweet and supportive. She's the one that made us those Talk Dodgers to Me mugs. And Adam with his Kershaw in a wheelchair.
Ay. I know she is very thoughtful. Like I said, I felt like I've already known her, and
And we got to meet her husband.
we got to meet her husband, who was home from Japan. He serves in the military. I'm not sure which one, but that's so cool. Mm-hmm. Which was another cool thing to talk about Japan.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's home for a bit.
Yeah.
So I'm happy for them. And that was the game we won.
That was the game we won, and it has nothing to do with the fact that we were there, but
But there was also something fun about the game that we got to meet one of Adam's friends.
we did get to meet Adam. But what was his first name again?
Ryan.
Ryan.
Guys, so Adam recently got back in touch with a friend from college when we went to Arizona, and he lives there. And he hadn't seen him in years and years. Mm-hmm. And he's also a big Cubs fan, so he came out to LA to hang with Adam and come to Dodger Stadium with us.
So the anticipation of that game, of getting there, not knowing if the bobbleheads were going to be insane.
I know.
We needed to make sure we secured, but you never really know. People make it seem like there's lines for days, and you're like, okay, but I can't necessarily get to the stadium at like 3:30 in the afternoon.
I want to know what everyone thinks about this. Like, are you going to the stadium hours and hours prior to secure your bobblehead? Because I don't know if they just did it for the Shohei bobblehead because of last year and how people literally got heat stroke and went to the hospital. They announced that everybody was going to get one.
Yeah.
Not just the 40,000, which is how it usually is. It was 53,000 or whatever
Right.
the max Dodger Stadium holds. But are they doing that for every bobblehead?
I don't know, but it's a lot of commitment, honestly, for people. But we got in. There was plenty. So I guess the hype is, I don't know. I don't know if it's just because they had plenty. It's really, it's hard.
But then I Googled it because I'm like, no, we're going to be fine. And then I Google says, this is the most highly anticipated bobblehead of the MLB season. I'm like, all right, we're going early.
Well, and then I follow things on Facebook, and I already see people posting things about the line on like I know.
Anyway, we got the bobbleheads.
We got the bobblehead.
Jaclyn sold one.
I know.
It's fine.
Well, this little boy, I mean, his big brown eyes, my heart took over my head. But honestly, I'm looking and I'm not really seeing them for any more than 200. I could be wrong.
What'd you sell it for?
120.
Nice.
Yeah.
Gonna buy us some hot dogs and beers tonight.
I'm so sorry. Yeah. You know, I had to lean into it. Sometimes my heart takes over and that's just who I am. So I have to be okay with it.
When a dad is asking for a bobblehead for his son who's standing next to him and looks like he might cry, how do you say no to that?
Yeah, and the kid was very grateful. He's like, thank you. He's just staring at this bobblehead. And I'm like, you know, I'll take my lashings.
What did I tell you? You might have changed his life in that moment. He might look at that bobblehead every day and dream to be Freddie Freeman, and that will be what takes him to be an MLB player one day.
And I can't wait to hear about it. We're going to be old, but that's okay.
Well, that was a good game for us.
Yeah.
Yamamoto pitched 6 scoreless innings.
Great game.
He's been on fire.
Yeah.
I feel like his confidence is just there this season after how well he performed in the postseason. Because he was out a lot last year. Had a rough start and then was injured. So he's really been on fire and really fun to watch.
He was really fun to watch in person. I felt like, did you see the video of Dave hugging him at the end? Because he was just so proud of him. I mean, he did. He just had a really good game. Ohtani still not quite in that game, was not quite there. Freddie took a little bit to warm up.
We won because of Tommy Edman's 3-run homer. It was 3-0.
Tommy. He might be at top of my list right now of contending for Player of the Week.
Wow, we forgot to talk about it, so I'm thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I had a feeling we did forget to talk about it, but I figured there was a few.
I might have another one. I'm going to throw another name.
Okay, and I don't know if we might have the same name.
Do you want to say it on the count of 3?
Sure.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Tajes.
Dustin May.
Oh, May. Oh, May.
So good.
So good. He's really...
Wait, you're saying Andy?
Dude, I am so proud of him. People wanted him in the freaking minors like a week and a half ago. And this guy, you know what? He has used that as fuel in the most positive way. Maybe he had a humbling conversation with himself. I feel like a lot of the guys talk about just being honest with themselves and where they're at. And he's completely flipped it around in so many ways. He's shown up defensively. Like, I'm just proud of him because maybe it's not perfect and it's not like he's just going to like be a crazy star the whole time, but he showed consistency. He's made some clutch catches. I feel like...
Oh, he saved a grand slam.
Yeah.
Right before things turned sour for the Dodgers.
I mean, he even had another great play out in outfield before that, a sliding catch.
I think he needs to step his game up offensively. But you're right. I think he's a player that really is going to learn from his mistakes. And just from hearing talk about him and how he is with the other players, he's asking a lot of questions and leaning on the vets. And I feel like he really absorbs the information he's getting. So I feel like any mistake he makes is only going to make him get better the next time.
Well, and we said our boys are like totally... They have a fire underneath them because there's someone else there ready to take their spot. If
I don't know about this weekend, about the fire.
I know.
It was sizzling.
It was sizzling.
And then went out.
I know. I mean, Freddie, the game that we were at, it was interesting. I feel like everyone was cheering so loud, like chanting his name. And it's just because us fans are so on fire and just love to see them and are so excited. But I wonder if that was just like mentally kind of like, just stop for a second. Give me a game.
How would that not just pump you up every single time?
Well, I don't think it doesn't not pump you up, but I think that there's so much more that goes into it when
You
you're
mean
just like
feeling
trying
the
to get back in
pressure?
the groove and like, I don't know, maybe not.
I think the Dodger fans have made Freddie feel so at home and so supported that he just really leans on it and leans into it. And I really love that.
Yeah.
We didn't even talk about Charlie throwing the first pitch.
I know.
That was so cute.
I know. And we got to go see the patch room.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So talk about that.
Okay, yeah. My high school softball coach, Mike Delaney, he's worked for the Dodgers for over 40 years, which when I think about all the clubs that he's seen through that organization and the different teams and the different players. And he's started working when he was in his 20s. Like, to me, I just think of the history of that and I just love that. I love that part. And I guess I never realized. I feel like when he's your older coach, you're like, you don't know what they do in their 20s, you know? But anyway, he's worked up there, and I happened to see a Facebook post about something, and I was like, I'm going to be there. And he had said, like, let me know where you guys are sitting. I can come see you. And then I'm like, you know what? He took us up when I was young, my dad and I, when we were younger, up to see the patch room. So it had been years. When we won CIF my freshman year of softball, he got us on the field to get honored and stuff. And so I know.
Cool.
That was really fun.
So you've been on the field at Dodger Stadium?
I have.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah. That was really fun. But yeah, so he was like, I'm like, wait, I got to ask him, because if we could get up and just go experience that, like, I knew that you and I would just love it. You especially, which you're so cute. You were just like this ray of sunshine in that booth. Like, what would you call it? A room? A media room? A
wire room. It was just full with
a room
wires everywhere.
I was in there and I'm like, I'm not sure why they let us in here. We could really do something.
I know,
We're like
beers?
holding our beers like tighter.
Like, I can't drop this or we're going to get electrocuted or something.
And then, of course, very on brand for you, you're ready to just become an intern and put us to work.
I was just overwhelming him with questions.
I love it,
It's just so
though.
interesting to me.
He had some really, really cool stories.
Such cool stories. He told us all about the 3-story clubhouse. And he might even be able to take us in.
Yeah, he
Okay,
said.
so the next road trip. Oh, well, it's
we're
coming up. Maybe.
And we're going. I know, maybe.
Okay, so this one or the next, we might be getting a little tour.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Gosh, I would love it. He was so sweet. I loved hearing about him coaching you and you as a player.
I know.
And just listening to you too, and learning about what he does.
I know. I feel like we should definitely dive into that more, because he, like I said, he had such cool stories. It was special. You know, it's so cool being an athlete. Your relationship with coaches, it can be so, so beautiful, and it can be actually like pretty traumatic in other ways, you know? But when you have that good relationship with a coach and just that loving, supportive, it's beautiful. It's life-changing. It can be very life-changing for an athlete. And I've always appreciated him. And so it was nice. It's nice. The Dodgers just, it feels like home. There's just so many aspects to that, everything about it that just feels like home.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I loved hearing that he's worked there for so long and grew up a Dodger fan and all the different things he does. And he's been to Vin Scully's house. And he said Vin was the only person that ever offered to pay him.
Yeah.
For like going
I think he does the
outside of
electrical
Dodger
stuff with
Stadium and going to his
TVs.
house
Yeah.
and helping him with some stuff there.
Well, and that he said Vin would come in and just have 20-minute conversations with him.
And when he said his father died and Vin went to, you know, pay his respects and see how he's doing, and that, I mean, exactly how I imagine Vin to be.
Vin.
And just how thoughtful and
But it speaks volumes about Mike, because honestly, he is that beautiful of a person where I could see why Vin would feel compelled to want to do that. So yeah, more to come on that, because that was like a really fun little adventure.
and maybe he'll come on.
Yeah, and we were like, okay, we've got to make the pitch, because we had to be there for the throwout pitch with Freddie.
I know. I
and
kept
his
checking
son.
the time to make sure we weren't going to miss Charlie.
I know, that was really cute.
Oh, it's just so sweet. And Charlie is going to be a really good baseball player because he throws strikes.
His windup's so good.
And then giving the mic to Fred Freeman, and how proud he must be of his son. I mean, it could make me cry.
No, it's an amazing family, and getting to okay, this is like the funniest thing. So
What?
I saw this clip of Freddie, and they were interviewing him in the dugout, and they were like, so did you do anything fun while you were on the injured list? Like, is there anything fun about it? Which is like such a, stupid question. No questions are stupid questions, but that one was. But it was so funny. He goes, well, on Tuesday, I took the kids to school, but it's spring break. he goes, so I didn't have time to get them home, so they had to come to Dodger Stadium with me. I had to be here by 10:30. Well, they both got car sick and threw up in the car.
No.
And he goes, so that's my Tuesday. And I'm cracking up because I'm just like, watching the documentary, you see a little bit of an insight on a lot of the Freeman family. And Chelsea talks a lot. And I'm just like laughing at what that conversation probably was. And
I loved getting that insight. So just so everyone knows what we're talking about, we both watched the Apple docuseries about the Yankees and Dodgers World Series. I loved getting into the Freeman family and the Betts family and how close they both are. I was dreaming to see Chelsea's reaction to Freddie's grand slam.
Right.
I think I searched for videos of it and I couldn't find
I loved
it.
that they mic'd him up. I want to watch a game with them. They seem so fun.
I know.
And they're so like into it, right? To me, I mean, it's so easy to just like drift off. But that's what I love watching baseball with people who want to watch baseball, because when you're just in the game and it's a good game and then things happen and you're just freaking out together, like it's so fun.
But to see like his family's reaction to it, you know who I love too? Mookie's mom. She's awesome.
I know. I'm going to have to get her. I saw she's wearing a little sequence piece.
She was.
So I was
thinking
like,
of
I
you.
see you, girl. I see you. Yeah,
and,
that was
and
cool.
Mookie's wife, Brianna, and I guess the Betts family and the Freeman family are really close, very family oriented. Loved getting that inside into the games and the players. How cool was it hearing the voiceover of Shohei and Yamamoto? Like, I loved that part. Shohei saying that feeling, winning the World Series with his team, was the best feeling he's ever had in his life.
Voiceover? What am I missing? Did I fall asleep?
No, like through the series, they had different voices coming in and out.
Okay,
and
yeah.
They had their voices speak in Japanese, but obviously the captions were reading it in English.
Right.
But it wasn't like translated by a translator. It was their voice, so you could read it at the same time. And yeah, I just thought it was interesting what they had to say.
It was really cool just reliving it. I guess I didn't realize
I watched it twice.
I've got to loop it back in because it was like a late night. But I couldn't turn it off. I was just into it. So that's why I was like, maybe my eyes shut and I didn't know. But it was so fun to relive the moments. I mean, even Mookie getting the ball snatched out, of his glove. It's like,
I know, I was pissed off all over again.
But like kind of being up within the fire of it. And it was just fun to relive them. It just reminded me of all the ups and downs, but I didn't realize how much there was a lot going on in that October into November. And so it was nice to like slow down and watch them again.
I know, especially after a weekend of losing.
I know. But anyway, game 1 we won, and the Freeman family is
amazing.
A+.
And we love them.
Yeah. Oh, it's time for Dodgers. They blinked out the beginning. They better not do that.
What happened? I think the mic went out or something.
Yeah, the mic went out. But it's okay. They still did perfect.
It was great. I'm glad we were there for that game and not the next game.
Yeah.
All right, Adam. The mic is yours.
For what? Do you want me to talk about game on Friday?
Cubs fan Adam, real happy about how his team performed against the Dodgers.
Hold on. Let me just say one thing about game 1.
Okay.
That game really turned in, I think it was the 5th inning. Yamamoto's pitching really well.
Adam has notes.
I do have notes.
Wow.
Yamamoto's pitching really well. I believe Kyle Tucker gets a double with 1 out in the 5th inning, the first hit off of Yamamoto in the game, and hits a single, but they threw the ball in. Tucker wasn't going to score. Seiya commits a base running error. That base running error changes the whole landscape of the game.
You mean the pickle that he got thrown out?
Correct.
I hate pickles.
I love a good pickle.
Not when it's our player.
Well, yeah, but
the game turns on that kind of mistake. What comes next? Teoscar leads off the next inning with a single, or maybe the 6th inning with a single. Then Boyd hits Freddie Freeman, and then Tommy he just golfed 1 out. So it was a very good competitive game. I like really good pitching. Matthew Boyd, besides the 6th inning, was really good, solid. Yamamoto was obviously good throughout, and then the Dodger bullpen, as it's going to many times this year. Kirby Yates, Blake Trinan, and Tanner Scott, they're going to shut down. So game 1 was fun to watch, just from a competitive game standpoint, even though the Cubs lost.
What about hanging with Ryan?
Shout out Ryan. Thanks for coming, Melson. Good to see you. That was great. Great to catch up. It's been 9
They were
years.
drinking June Shines.
Yeah,
June Shines were
right?
great. Yeah, they were fun.
I think the biggest standout to me about your team was your pitching was a lot better than the first series. And I think players really perform well when they go back to their old stadium. And Michael Busch was really
Michael,
good.
you should see the stats on Michael Busch in the West
But
Coast.
don't you feel like when a player goes back to their old stadium, they have something to prove? Like Alex Verdugo, the first pitch he saw when he went back to play the Red Sox, he hit a home run. Mm-hmm. And it's like you must just have like so much in you to do well. And yeah, Michael Busch proved that all weekend.
Michael Busch plays so well on the West Coast. I was texting Ryan actually last night because Michael Busch hit a home run in San Diego, and I said we should just trade him to some team on the West Coast. He'd be much happier.
He already was
That's interesting.
on our team.
Back to the West Coast, I should say. Oh, game two. Game two actually was an interesting game because the first 6 innings were actually kind of a nail biter. Like
Roki didn't do bad.
No, I don't think he did bad at all.
It started to go bad when they took him out because Andy saved the grand slam. I thought that was such a pivotal moment and thought it would be a shifting moment for our team to do well, but it didn't.
Yeah.
yeah, Ben Brown,
I mean,
Ben
point
Brown
blank,
was solid.
Point
Ben Brown
blank,
was awesome.
The Cubs were playing better baseball. They were being more consistent, and
They caught the momentum and just kept hitting one after the other.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Casparius, oof.
I have a note about Ben Casparius.
What?
If you watch Ben Casparius pitch, he moves more on the mound, moves more on the rubber than I've ever seen a pitcher do. He will start on the far. If you're looking at the mound, if you're the batter looking at the mound, his back foot will start far on the left side of the rubber, and he in his windup now, not from the stretch. In his windup, he will move all the way to the other side of the rubber. I've never seen that before. Most guys in their windup, like they'll move their plant foot a little bit. They might, tap it a little bit and move and rotate it a little bit. He like drags his whole foot across the rubber. It's crazy. It's crazy.
yeah.
Did you just notice it in that game?
Yeah. I just noticed in that game.
I wonder if he was doing it even more and if that's like a thing he does when things aren't going well. I've noticed that, but not like all the time. I really have high hopes for him this season. And I'm sure, just like Andy, he's never going to have another game like that because he's going to learn from it.
Well, let's say, and we can't say never, but I mean, we can't expect everyone to have like perfect games all the time.
I just need to spin it positive, or
needs
the
to be a little
16-0 is just making me in a bad mood.
Oh,
I was definitely.
just poured it on there at the end.
I was thinking of Adam and how happy he must have been.
I could have given a crap about that. I'm going to be completely
Jack.
honest.
Were you standing up and cheering?
I was kind of a sore loser during this period. I kind of had a bad attitude and I didn't like losing, and I really didn't like losing to you. I really wanted to stick it to you for our fans.
You're welcome.
But the Cubs played better ball consistently, and that's just what happens. I think that we're relying on home runs too much. I think that we can't really.
But we haven't been hitting them out. It's like they come close. Shohei hit like
I know,
four
but
of what could have been home runs the other
but
day, and he
look
only
what
one
happened
went out.
last night. They just are consistently hitting base hits, and it just allows for baseball to happen. Just like game one of the Cubs, it was good baseball, competitive baseball, because it wasn't necessarily just like home run. But if you're not gonna, you got to do something. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, the bottom of the lineup is where I'm mostly concerned because they're really important and they need to get on base for Shohei.
For Shohei.
And for the top of our order. And similar to stretches of last year, it's our top guys pretty much carrying everything and our starters when they're doing well.
I know the bottom lineup is tough. They get pitched like the pitcher's A game because they are not wanting those people on base for Shohei, So it's like our boys have to be tough down there.
They do.
Yeah.
We need Kike to get on base. We need Miggy Rowe to get on base. We need Andy to get on base. We really do.
Yeah.
Well, the Cubs got your top 3 out anyway. You guys were the Mookie, Shohei, and Freddie were like 3 for like 20.
Yeah, they were
in the
not
series.
showing up.
So the Cubs did a great job of, getting
I
those
couldn't
guys out.
believe it.
But
to look up at the score and it was like 9-0, and I'm like, Oh my gosh. And then I saw 16. I'm like, there's no way. That's not our team. No. We're the ones that get 16 and the other team gets 0. So what's happening?
I was so pissy.
What world are we living in?
I was not in a good mood. But
that's not Dodgerland.
I know it was, at first I was so grouchy that the Miggy Rojas thing did kind of bug me at the beginning too. I was just like, why are we smiling and goofing off? Why are we not paying attention? But you know what? After I really looked at it, I was like, there's nothing we're doing about that lead at this point. He genuinely saved a pitcher for us. So he went in and did what he was supposed to. And I could not get over his grin to the dugout when he was like, just watch what I'm about to do. It's just like, it reminded me of Squints from Sandlot when he opens his eyes before he's about to kiss Wendy Peppercorn.
Aww.
And he like gives his friends a look like
this is happening.
Hold my beer and watch this.
So you think he didn't tell anyone he was going to do that?
I mean, there's got to have, maybe he told someone, but it was cool. I mean, Dave Roberts goes, it just shows how much he watches the game. And I just think that's cool because I think I've been a little hard on Miggy Rojas. I know we've had him before. He's been such a good player, but I'm like, people kept saying he's kind of moving into more of like a manager kind of role, and they could see him leading a team and I never really saw those aspects in him, I guess.
He was so good last year. Remember we went like
before
20-something games
before last
of
year.
winning when he got a hit. There was this crazy streak. He also is such a leader in that clubhouse. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Also, first active player to come on the podcast. So we love Miggy Rowe.
No, we love him. But I'm starting to notice the different qualities of what it is that have kind of been presented to me. And I guess at first I didn't, and now I'm kind of seeing it. And I'm a big fan of Miggy. I think I have a soft spot from that point in Japan when he just like went out to the outfield by himself. And I was like, I just loved the lock-in energy. And I hope he just leans into on that. Because when someone's doing that, it's like because they really care and they really want to mentally be able to show up. And I
He's
can
the
get behind.
best.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. When I first saw like Snell and Yamamoto laughing when we're down by that much, I was pissed. And I'm like, there's nothing to be laughing at.
Oh, but I totally, when he did.
And then I watched what was happening, and I see Miggy Rowe imitate Landon Knack, and then Yamamoto.
Landon Knack's really
Kershaw.
been teetering for me.
I started laughing too, and I thought it was funny.
Well, when they did Roki, I really,
he
got the
was
leg.
spot on. Oh, the leg kick that I've been talking about.
So they interviewed him after, and he was like, okay, Roki, your stance is hard. How do you get your leg so high?
He's so flexible.
I was cracking up. I was like, they would bring that up.
He said that sometimes Muncy is his throwing partner, and sometimes when they throw to each other, they'll imitate the pitchers. So it's like something, I bet he's been working on it.
Yeah.
And waiting for his moment. I'm surprised they had Miggy Rowe go in and not Kike, because he sometimes is our pitcher.
Yeah, I know.
In horrible, very, very rare games that we need a position player to be the pitcher. But it was quite comical, and I did enjoy watching that.
Yeah, I did too.
Once I got over it.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of when Mookie had Tatis Jr. on his podcast during the Padres-Dodgers series last year, and he got so much heat for it, and I was pissed. Yeah. I was so pissed, because at that time, we hated them. And there was all that crap going on in the game with the fans, and Tatis and Profar taunting them. But then listening to Mookie talk about it and just his perspective, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
They can, be competitive when the game starts, but they're all playing the same game. They all,
Yeah. I mean,
I forgave him.
A lot of people I know, they're saying there's a lot of baseball, and there is a lot of baseball left, but I don't want to get to the point where these start to bite us in the butt, and that these did end up mattering, and the losses creep up more and more. So it was nice to get a win last night.
I know.
Yeah, it was really nice.
I was getting a little nervous.
Whoa! Don't forget about Sunday. We got to talk about the third game of Cubs. You guys lost that too. Can we talk about that?
I don't want to.
Sure.
Tyler Glasnow gave up a bunch of homers to PCA. He was just having the time of his life.
His parents were in the front row.
I know. I didn't know he was from Southern California, and his parents were there, so he was, playing extra well. Knowing he had
Tyler?
No, Pete Crow Armstrong, PCA.
Oh, that's what you were saying. He's from, I think I heard him say somewhere like Sherman Oaks or something.
Oh. All right, what do you want to say about it?
Oh, the only note that I had was I was frustrated with the Cubs late in the game. I'm going to nerd out here on baseball real quick, just for a second. Give me. It's the Adam segment now.
Then you have to come on camera.
No, I don't.
I dare you.
No, I'm good.
What would it take for you to come on camera?
Nothing.
Not anything.
I'm not coming on camera.
What about meeting Michael Jordan?
So in the 8th inning, so the Cubs are up 3-2 in the 8th. And when you're facing a team like the Dodgers who have the lineup that they do, you really need to tack on runs when you can. Insurance runs are vitally important, and clutch hitting, especially in the late innings, is paramount. 2 guys are on it for the Cubs in the 8th inning, no outs. Bush and Swanson both strike out. You know, like, you've got to move the runner. You've got to make contact. Like, credit to the Dodgers pitching staff for doing that in the 8th inning, but like, you've got to move the runner. You got to sacrifice fly. You got to make contact. Same thing happened in the 9th inning. PCA starts off the inning with a leadoff triple, and then the next 2 guys strike out, Matt Shaw and Amaya, and it's like, you got to make contact. You got to get the run. Now, luckily, Nico Horner did come up with a RBI single in the 8th, and we did 1-4-2.
When Michael Conforto missed the foul ball, embarrassing.
That was funny.
Dude,
He should have. I can't believe he didn't catch that.
I mean, he must be feeling the pressure.
So I thought about it because I was very mad at him, especially because he was player of the week last week.
Oh no, he was not player.
Oh, you're right. He was.
You
he
really
was runner
want
up.
him to be.
He was.
You're
runner
giving him
up.
so much pressure. He is not performing right now.
I think I'm going to let him have that one only because he's getting familiar with our field, and maybe he thought the wall was closer than it was because he didn't go for the ball, and then the call was overturned because clearly it hit the white.
Actually,
And
the
he should have caught
broadcast,
that.
I did watch the broadcast on Sunday, and they were talking about how difficult Dodger Stadium is because of the 4 decks.
Oh.
Like the
So I'm right to give him a little grace this time only?
I don't know about that direct of a line down, but they were talking about how the eye lines for pop flies are different in Dodger Stadium than any stadium because
But they practice every day, so
not at Dodger Stadium.
yeah,
like-
they do.
Well, they
Well,
do
now.
they do stuff before the game, but like it's not the same type of in-game experience as you're going to get. Like, so for an example, somebody hits a pop fly. There's a bunch of people in the 3rd and 4th deck who have white shirts on because your home jersey is white. The ball can get lost. A guy can lose the ball in one of those people's shirts, or let's say there's 20 people in the stands and there's a group of white shirts in that 4th deck. Ball's coming down, you can lose the ball in those white shirts. That's why the batter's eye is always blocked off. Dead center field, every single stadium, batter's eye is blocked off because it's a disadvantage to the batter if there's something white out there. They
You know
can't
what's
see the ball
interesting
coming
now
out
that
of the
you're
pitcher's
saying
hand.
that? I feel like there's a certain time of day where it's really hard to see. And I felt like Tyler was missing the zone and he almost was like hitting the batters because of where the sun was in that moment. And
Yeah.
I felt like he couldn't see that well. The batters couldn't see that well. Did you
Guys-
guys get that vibe at all?
It's baseball. It's softball. It's an outdoor sport. We've been dealing with this since you're little. You have to just figure it out. I mean, there's going to be times where the ball gets lost
But
in
I
the
could
sun,
really
but
tell that I
No,
felt
the
like
shadow-
Tyler was
the
struggling.
shadows at Dodger Stadium are weird, especially on a 4-10 start game. They are weird. There was a part in the Sunday game where the mound was in shadow, in between the mound and home plate was in sunlight, and then the home plate was in shadow. The ball going from shadow to light to shadow again is difficult for a batter.
Yeah, I felt like I was really noticing that. But I thought Tyler looked good for the most part.
But I think if we flip the stadium, people always tell me the sun would just be blasting in their eyes.
And every stadium has different, quirks
Right.
and things that they have to deal with.
Really quick, speaking of this whole white shirt thing, man, should we just like start rallying people at the pavilion to just wear white?
Would that help or hurt? Aren't you saying that
Oh,
the
yeah, it
white
would hurt
shirts hurt them?
Hurt batters.
So we need them to only
Too
wear
bad
the
we can
blue
do
jerseys?
this with like a sequence up and down where it goes
Should
blue
everyone
and
just be
white.
wearing blue sequins?
No,
Really?
they have to. Dodger fans have to change shirts when the Dodgers are
Yeah.
playing.
I'll just do like a
defense.
reversible.
Have you ever seen a jersey that was one color on one side and different on the other?
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean,
What
I
if?
have.
Okay, what if we also made it reversible?
Yeah. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
But you know what I do
Shooting
want to
around ideas. Adam is like, you're nuts.
You know what I really do want to do? There's
What?
these seats in right field and left field, the home run seats.
We have to sit
I
there.
want to sit there, but you and we're going with skilled people. Like we're taking like Courtney or
What? I have a glove. I can catch.
Okay, you need to calm down. I have a glove and I can definitely
What
catch
do you
too.
mean we need to take skilled people?
Do you know how much you and I chit chat and just like,
True.
I'm not saying because we're not going to be there and be ready. I want to be ready and catch a ball.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Let's just get some backup just in case we happen to look away or we're talking to a fan. We have someone to catch the ball and it doesn't hit our head.
Okay, so you mean we just need to be more present in the game?
Yeah. I mean, we already are. I'm not saying we're not, but
Actually,
I'm saying
that whole game we sat. Because sometimes we're going and we're meeting up with people, but
Right,
we did all our meeting up before
but we're
the
not
game.
in home run territory. Like, you know what I mean? We have to be ready and alert.
Let's go sit in the home run seats, bring gloves, and not talk.
Adam's like, I'm in for that game.
You can invite me to that one.
We didn't even tell you guys that Adam went on a secret mission in Tokyo and went to the bar where you only listen to music and you're not allowed to talk.
Yeah. I told him I'd struggle going there, but I really am sad I missed it because now that I'm back, my algorithm is still full Japan.
I know.
And I've seen so many videos of that experience and it looks cool. Did you take video of it in it or did you just sit and
No, you're not
Never.
supposed to. You're not supposed to take. I don't think you're supposed to take video.
People.
What do you say every time I'm like, oh, did you take any pictures?
No.
I
Why?
just was asking if you did.
Why?
I mean,
No,
a snappy attitude.
No,
He
I'm
goes,
not.
It's
It's
in
not
my
snappy.
head.
It's not snappy, but no, I wanted to be there and enjoy it.
No, I know. I just saw people doing videos, so
Oh,
I thought
I
maybe
think-
you captured one or two.
No, I think there. I remember there being a sign that you can't take video.
I could see that
Oh.
too. Maybe this was a
So
video
maybe they broke the rules, but it was really fun. It was a great experience. Happy I
Yeah.
went by myself. Late night.
halfway through the freaking.
You know what I really want that's in my algorithm all the time and won't leave me alone?
Those puffy pancakes.
I want them so bad. You know
I
what I'm
know.
talking about?
Uh-huh.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No idea.
I
They're
think
like these
Alicia had them.
souffle pancakes that are really popular
They look
in
so
Japan.
good.
You want to know what else is? I heard the pizza was actually amazing. That they perfect so many things there. They decided to perfect pizza, and that the dough is like to die for. Which everywhere we went, it was sold out. So anyway, we're
Yeah.
definitely all going back to Tokyo because we need a couple more rounds of our secret mission nights because I want the whole trip to be that. That was so fun.
I can't wait to go back.
I know.
I love how that's kind of what their culture is. Perfect something. Do the same thing over and over again to make it better. And that's so much of my mindset, the guys' mindset,
I know.
our whole team's mindset.
You know what was really cool? So the judge just got named the captain for Team USA, and Dino.
Dino Ebel?
Yeah, so I
Third
heard
base
him.
coach?
I heard him talking about it because he's going to be a coach for the team, and he's
Nice.
so excited. He thinks it's going to be. I mean, it's just an honor, obviously, and you know, being in Japan and like seeing all of that culture, and then now like this kind of coming up, and then is his name pitched against Knack?
Oh, Landon?
Knack, yeah,
The lean back?
yeah, the lean back.
He's pitching today?
No,
Oh, wait.
he just pitched.
No, I think he's pitching today.
They've played so many games. It's like.
We're going to see him. We'll see the lean back in person.
But my point is that he was talking about how he's like so grateful to have experienced so much of like the world through baseball, and that it's like he never experienced or never like imagined that this is what it would be. And it is true. Like these guys are able to see so much. I don't know. I feel like soccer is such a worldwide sport. I feel like baseball is a pretty good contender when it comes to like the sport of the world.
That's true. It is really cool, all the
Yeah.
places they've gone and just how the MLB is trying to grow the game.
But the youth, I mean, the youth is on fire in different countries when it comes to football. I mean, to baseball.
Isn't
Anyway.
there another international series happening with two different teams? There usually is.
They
Adam,
usually
you
do
know
a
about
London
that?
series.
Yeah. I know. Didn't the Cubs and the Mets play in London last year?
Cubs and the Cardinals.
Oh.
And the Phillies and the Mets played the year before that? Or was it flippity floppity? I don't remember.
Well, all right. Let's talk about our team's struggles.
Okay.
How are you feeling about it?
Honestly, I think my gut the boys are fine. I know we
We're
do
fine,
the fine. I
guys.
know we do the
We're
fine. But like,
fine.
no, I mean, I do think we're fine. I do think we need to reel it in, and I think we need to play. I was really happy last night to see them just putting the ball in play and just like some base hits because it really, for me, it's like, to me, that's when baseball is able to like, that's when you get your like throws, you know, and your long outs and your, I don't know, it's a little bit exciting. And I think if they're already making those adjustments, they obviously are like on top of what they know they need to do. So I think we're going to be okay. Our pitching is scaring me a little.
I know.
May did amazing, but
Yamamoto and Dustin May are the best too. They've been so strong this season. I agree with you. I mean, guys, have we even played 20 games yet?
there's just a lot of pressure. I just keep seeing really beautiful like plays from so many people at different moments, and it just
that bare-handed play from Kike. So good. More of that.
More of that. But that's my point is like, and then, you know, Tommy Edman with his diving and it's just honestly, I really do see glimpses, which tells me it just is a matter of time before it's all going together.
Totally. I think they're not synced up offensively. They are making some great plays in the infield. Muncy continues to make mistakes. He's striking out more than ever. Usually he walks a lot. So I feel like maybe his timing is just off a little. But he's worked so hard to get to where he is right now that I know he'll pull it together. I really believe in him. And, you know, it's really interesting because you think about the questions that they're asked after the game. And last night I listened to Mookie, and he's like, what do you want me to say? If I don't sound panicked, everyone's going to think we don't care. But if I do panic, then everyone's going to panic even more. So it's like he's damned if I do, damned if I don't. And I almost think like, what can the media ask differently? Because how is that going to help them? Why not ask them, hey, what have you done in the past that has helped you? Spin the questions to something that they actually want to answer instead of just like, so you guys have lost now 3 series in a row. What do you want them to say?
Well, that's
the
unfortunately
only people
where
that
media
seem
has gotten
to feel fine and know that they're fine is our team, is our coach, and is our players. It's us, the fans, the media, that's dwelling on them having this losing streak when we haven't even played 20 games yet.
I know, it's a little exhausting, right? It's
it's
kind of
insane.
like, how many times are we going to do this to where if they do bad, everyone freaks out, and it's like this roller coaster of things, and it's just like, I can't really engage in it.
But even listening to all the questions, it's like they're only about, you guys are losing. You've lost 3 series in a row now. No one got a hit. You didn't score any runs, this and that. How do you want them to answer that?
Yeah, well,
How
I
is
love
that gonna
that that's
help
how
them?
Mookie responded, because that's kind of what media is there for, is to just kind of get the answer and get the plug and get the clickbait. And
But don't they also want our team to do well? And don't they want our players to not feel terrible?
no, totally. They just,
Or is that not a care in the world and they just want the clickable moment where Mookie or someone gets pissed off and says something that turns into a viral video for whoever asked the question? Because to me,
you said it, girl.
we're not going to contribute to the hate.
Well, I know.
I believe in our team, and this is the beginning of the season. I'd rather us go through this now and figure it out than further into the season.
I mean, it's
No one's going to go
baseball.
162-0.
I wish that they could have. I do believe the game 1 of the Cubs, that was a good competitive game. We have to really remember too that they've seen each other before. They saw each other in Tokyo. They have film on people. They have like, this is part of right now. Like, people are going to start seeing each other, and they're going to respond differently to games, and they're going to come at the Dodgers with their best baseball. And it is up to the Dodgers to continue to play competitive baseball back. And I think that they're gonna do it. It's still early. We just have to be positive.
There was a moment last year where, I forget who it was. I think it might have been Jerry Harrison Jr. or someone who had a chat with Mookie. Or was it like Ken Griffey Jr.? I don't know. Someone really important and
Ken Griffey Jr., side note, wasn't he? He was just a photographer at the Masters.
Oh, yeah, guys. He got credentialed to be a photographer at the Masters.
Isn't that kind of like
I love it.
Randy Johnson? He was a
The
photographer.
American Idol guy?
No, I think that's Randy,
Randy
Jackson.
Jackson.
Oh gosh, remember that
Randy
era?
Johnson also is a photographer.
Yeah, he's a photographer for the NFL. Doesn't he do? Yeah,
Something like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
isn't that cool?
Yeah.
It's so funny. My friend Courtney, she was like, for Halloween, can I be Randy Jackson and Jackson? Can I be Randy Johnson and you be the bird? And I was like,
Do it.
I know, but I kind of still want to be a samurai from my Japanese samurai show.
Best day ever.
Yeah. Oh man.
But like, remember Mookie wasn't doing well in the beginning of the postseason and he hadn't gotten a hit. He had a conversation with someone and they said something to him, just reminding him of who he is. And like that moment of Daniel Hudson last year going into the dugout and reminding them, we're the Dodgers. Why doesn't the media remind them of those moments and instill confidence in them and instill motivation? That's where I get really frustrated when I see the players so pissed and these people are all asking different versions of the same question. So, guys, you just got to come on our show.
I know. It is saturated, though. You're right. The questions are kind of like...
I was like dumbfounded that they were all asking the same exact thing.
Freddie, can you tell me about a positive and maybe something fun you've done on the injured list? Like, what?
It all was just like, you guys suck. Are you worried? Are you panicking? The fans are panicking. Are you panicking? All different versions of that. And I'm just like, someone...
I was definitely a sore loser,
Refresh
but
this moment.
I'm not panicking, to be honest. My gut is not panicking.
I'm not panicking either.
It's just baseball.
We all are fans of baseball. We've all watched baseball for years. This is how it goes.
You know what, really quick, back to the documentary. Shohei, when he hurt his shoulder, and then they let him come back in. And he said this thing where he was just like, I'm so like grateful or that my coach would allow me to go back in. And like, it's such a beautiful mindset of just an athlete. And he's so kind and quiet. And it's like, sometimes I like hearing of like the grit behind him and like the focus beyond just like the quiet time of what focus is.
Totally.
You know?
I remember hearing that too. And my first thought was, well, why would they want to put someone in the game that's injured? Like, remember Freddie kept playing through his injury and it actually was hurting us more than it was helping when it got really bad. But then listening to the players describe it, how they pitched to Shohei, how the other team is pitching to him, not really knowing how injured he is. There is a lot of value in him just being up at bat, injured or not.
Yeah. And I mean, you really roll the dice of like, if he gets a hold of it, we need him to get a hold of it, you know, but it's also like this player of like, no, this is what I've come here for. Like this injury isn't going to like, you know, I don't know. It's hard because you're like, well, don't get hurt forever.
Yeah. We don't want to make it worse. And
I know. I think our boys are doing fine. Like I said, I've seen so many glimpses of so much like greatness, you know, Kike first, second.
He's amazing at every position. He's been making such incredible plays. And I've been enjoying our defense so much.
Really, me too. It's so funny. He said something the other day that he said he plays first the way that he tries to think of it as when he's playing third. And I remembered when I was an athlete, I really leaned into that because my first year of college, I was always the hot corner third baseman. My first year of college, I had someone older than me who had that position. And so I went to first and I fell in love with first, but I hated that it kind of was ruining my timing because at third, you're just ready for it. And you're just on your toes. You're ready for the quick anything. And third, it's a little bit slower. Or at least it can be when I was there.
Did it mess you up, though, at all to go from position to position and not be in one consistent position? Because that's something I always wondered and want to ask one of the utility players.
It was hard to go back to third. And then that's when I kind of switched my mindset and was like, okay, I'm going to play first like I play third, just like really on my toes. And maybe it wouldn't be. It definitely messed with my third base rhythm and my timing. That was at the end of my softball career, and that was very humbling. And that was a hard end. But I loved when he said that because you can totally tell that he's just running around everywhere and scooping everything up. And it's just, yeah, I love that.
You know, I've been thinking about who would play if, like, you know, Andy has proved himself. He was great last year, and that's why he's consistently in the lineup. But there's players like CT3 or Austin Barnes, who is now like 0 for 11. And I know did I ask Oral this? But it's something on my mind a lot. Like, how do they get better if they're not given chances? Mm-hmm. The more you play, the more consistent you are, the better you'll get. They're getting put in here or there. So do they even get a chance to succeed?
Go ahead.
CT3's in the lineup tonight, so he'll get a chance tonight.
CT3, you know what, guys? He's going to have a great game.
Okay.
I don't have a seat. Does he have a... He must have a bobblehead.
I might have one at home.
Really?
Yeah, I have a bunch. So when we finally hone in.
Does it look like a chipmunk?
Or like who?
That
like
football
the Who
player.
Characters? Yeah, I know.
No, there's a football player he looks
doesn't
like.
really
I
have
forget
it
his
that
name.
connects. I don't want to be mean.
I like CT3.
I do
Chipmunks
too.
are cute. I'm not saying Chris Taylor's cute.
Do you
but
know the
just saying
football
looks like
player
a
he
chipmunk.
looks like? What his name is?
No.
Can you Google it? I also have a question for you. What was the stadium like when we were losing by 16? Was everyone leaving?
I think there were, from what I remember, there were some groans. There, you know, I think there were like times in which Shohei would come up. I think Shohei was coming up in the bottom of the 8th, and people wanted to see Shohei, and so they stuck around, even though the Cubs scored 5 in the 8th, and then 5 in the 7th, and 4 in the 8th.
Yeah, Miggy gave up.
And it's, you know, I think there was some people
sorry,
like
it's
hanging
good.
on to see certain people come up to bat, but. You know, the more that the Cubs scored, people were kind of just like, okay, well, let's get out
But
of
no
here.
one was booing our team, right? I hate when I see other stadiums booing their own team.
There was some boos about Casparius. Is that how we pronounce his name? Like, I think there were some people who wanted Dave to yank him earlier, which it's early in the season. I think, you know, you could have made the same argument about Craig Counsell not pulling Boyd when he let up the 3-run home run to Tommy Edman. It's like, you still have a chance at this game. Casparius starts letting up runs in the 7th. The Dodgers are only down 3-0. Why not try to get the game? It's like he's a young guy. You let him. You see what he can get through. He ended up not being able to get through it. It just kind of derailed. Luis Garcia comes in. He lets up some more runs. So it's like, you know, in those early games, I don't blame Dave Roberts for not wanting to pull the plug on these guys so soon.
But to answer your question about if guys don't play, how do they like work through it? I don't know at that level. Honestly, it's just all I can relate to is when I played, and if I was slacking and I lost my starting position, which wasn't often, and when it did, it makes you stop, and it's like you either put in the time and work to get it back, or I don't know. I don't really know what that does, but
I know they practice every day. They're doing BP and everything like that, but there's nothing like being in an actual game.
Right.
Facing a major league pitcher. So I just, you know, I hear the fans overreacting, hating on Barnes, hating on CT, hating on our boys all weekend. There's some things that like we need to think about things from their perspective.
Right, but
and how do they? Yeah,
but that's also, if it's your time to shine at that one moment, you come through. You mentally prepare yourself to go through to shine on that moment. It might be one moment.
But what do they want more than to shine in that moment? So there's so much pressure, you know. They haven't gotten a hit.
Big leagues, baby.
Two updates from the internet searches.
Okay.
Chris Taylor apparently looks like Joe Flacco.
Yes, that's it.
Okay.
What team's he on?
Joe Flacco is currently on, I believe he was re-signed by the Cleveland Browns.
Did you see his picture? They
do look alike. The other thing is the London series was canceled this year. I believe I don't know, they tried to also play a series in France, but there were some problems. I do have a question about Austin Barnes though.
Okay.
How is he still on the team?
Clayton Kershaw.
Clayton Kershaw's in a wheelchair.
They're a package deal.
But
haven't you heard me say that?
No,
when
I know, but
AJ
like
Ellis got traded, Clayton Kershaw did not talk to Andrew Friedman and the front office for 6 months.
But
So
like,
do you
what?
That's his guy.
think,
And Austin Barnes plays a way bigger role than just
I agree. And that's
than
one thing
just a
I've
player.
learned. That's one thing I've
They
learned.
call him the captain. He's such a leader in that clubhouse. And if you've learned anything about the Dodgers from everything I've said, that matters.
I don't listen that much when you talk.
Okay, you don't listen during
I'm
the
just kidding.
episode or
I'm just
when
kidding.
you edit the episode or anything like that?
Okay.
I'm just kidding. It's no, but seriously, like when the Cubs were playing, I believe he was behind the plate for Glass now. And my goodness, the man cannot throw to second base. Like you could have a running if Glass. I mean, Glass now is a strikeout pitcher. He whatever. But if guys got on base, you're running on Austin Barnes all day.
Was it Barnes with Tyler?
Or was it Barnes with Roki?
I think it might have been with Roki because Will Smith actually is starting off pretty well. He's hitting like 340 right now.
Will Smith is...
And I'm really happy about it.
I'm really happy. And I get what you're saying. I mean, I think that there's things about Austin Barnes that obviously he's the captain in so many ways. So there's something that's there that is like of value. I kind of can see what he means because it's like unless you know these things.
On the field, he's a bit of a net negative.
He's
So
no
if
Will
you're,
Smith,
if you're saying
so I
he's,
get it.
If you're
I
saying
get
he's
it.
Udonis Haslem, the Heat put him on the roster every year they didn't play him. If that's him, that's fine. But on the field, he's a bit of a net negative, both offensively and defensively.
I believe he's on the team and continues to be re-signed because of his presence. He's our longest tenured position player. I know he means a lot to Clayton Kershaw, and they're like a package deal. So I'm curious. I would love to ask Stan or Andrew or someone just about Austin Barnes and what he means to the team. But even the players, how they talk about Austin.
I
they
think
call him
that's
the
what
captain.
makes us different. Because
Look at them
not,
signing Andrew Tolles, who hasn't played since 2014 because
but not
of his
everybody's
schizophrenia.
there just to necessarily be the star player. They have plenty of that. They need the morale behind the scenes. They need the full part, like the full package. And I think that obviously that's what he does.
Look at our team chemistry and how well we did in the postseason and how the Yankees fell apart. They weren't in sync with each other. They kept messing up. It matters. Anything else?
Yeah. The only other thing that I was thinking about, I had wondered early in the season, because I can't remember if the Cubs ever switched this, but the home team I've always noticed is on the third base dugout side, third baseline. That's not actually the case, because when I was watching last night, the Cubs versus San Diego's home dugout is on the first baseline. I
Like
want to
ours?
know, no, the Dodgers' home dugout is on the third baseline. Cubs, third baseline. I want to know, one, and I should have done the research on this, how many teams have their home dugout on the third baseline versus the first baseline. And I wonder if there's any advantage there. Just a thought.
Get back to us on that.
I'll do some research.
Should we talk about how good the Padres are playing?
No.
Or the Giants?
Are they playing good?
The Padres are playing really well. They actually just lost their like crazy
Well,
hit
they didn't
streak.
play into November. They had a longer time to rest.
True.
They had a longer off season.
But you know what? Keep amping it up now and then die down.
Yes. I'm glad they're playing good. Give us some competition. Like, let's have a fun season. I mean, it's okay that we might lose more, but I'm here for some good baseball. Some rivalries. It makes it fun.
All of the seasons prior to the one that we just won the World Series in, we didn't have as many wins, regular season wins, as we did in the past. Remember, we won 111 games, and I thought that was like such a special number, and then we ended up losing to the Padres in the first round.
You could say I'm wrong, but I mean, I feel like forever being a fan, we go through a period where we're like, what is happening? And then we get to October baseball, and that's why October baseball is just the best and different. It's like that's when a whole different season starts.
I just think it's crazy to like that we only talk about October baseball, and we're only in April.
My Padre jerseys are almost in.
How's
For
the
those
rest of your-
girlies.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
We're working on our new studio
we are.
little by little.
How do you feel about that?
Overwhelmed.
I know it is
It's
a lot.
really-
It's a lot.
Hard when you can, I mean, a good problem to have, but when there's a blank slate, it's just analysis paralysis a little bit. and just an overwhelming amount of things going on right now that it's hard to make a decision. Or
Well, your ChatGPT
I'm having a hard time making
pictures,
a decision.
I think, gave a little bit of clarity.
That probably was the most helpful. And
Yeah.
I was so specific with
Yeah.
exactly what I want. So it is nice when you see something to just give you like a starting point
But I think
when it's not just walls.
I know it's hard.
You know, the paint color and this.
But it'll
Do we
fall
paint
into
the
place. You
bricks?
just have to commit to a few things and then plop some other things, some color, and I think that it'll start coming together. It's such a good space. When we
will.
were sitting in there, we felt so creative, and we're
I
like,
can't
we
wait
just don't
to
want
start
to leave.
recording there.
I know.
I was even thinking of like the time of day we're going to be recording. I wouldn't be mad about sipping on a cup of coffee in the morning recording,
Yeah.
because so far we've recorded at night. And
Guess what? We could do whatever we want.
I know. And that's pretty cool.
You know what happened last night when watching the game?
What?
So freaking funny. So I'm like jotting things down, watching the game, like trying to, just make sure if like something, jumps out and it's Ohtani's up and I'm jotting something down and I just get like a tap on my leg from Marcel. Everything's silent and I just see his finger go like to look. And so I'm like, I look at the TV, Jack's a home run. I'm like, what is with people telling me Ohtani's going to hit a home run? And then he does.
Okay. Nice.
I know. I was like, babe, okay, Melissa.
Well, it was like he almost hit a home run multiple times. And it was like, finally it went out.
I know. The crack of the bat has been sounding similar. And then it just like kind of dies.
No, but I can tell. I can tell when he hits a home run just from the sound, can't you? When it's
Yeah.
not going to go out.
I can tell when it's not going to go out. But the sound of the bat and then I look at the ball, it's two different things. Like
Maybe
there's-
that was the moment that shifted things for our team and their luck. Because I feel like Muncie's even had a couple that should have gone out, but they haven't yet. And it's like they need that little shift and some good luck back to them.
I know. Well, they won last night. So May was great. At least our starters are lasting 6 innings.
Mm-hmm.
At least, right? That helps. Did you see Kirby? He got a little feisty at the end there. He was not happy with his.
You know, that was his second pickoff in his career. It was a good throw to Freddie to get the guy out at first, but yeah, Kirby was pissed.
Kirby was mad.
He was not having a good outing. And he's got a really interesting throw and wind up.
He does.
And you could see it on his
This
face.
thing, like
how
he
he's
really like
feeling.
his like jersey's almost like this.
I know.
Yeah. I know. I was like, I always love seeing him come out. He was feisty. He was not happy.
Vanda wasn't that great either.
He looked like he got it sucked out
And
of him.
it showed all over his face.
He was
He
so
saw
mad
it go
at that
out and
home
he's
run.
like, it looked like he was so confused.
Yeah, he's like, how did that happen?
How?
I know. Honestly, though, that ball just kind of kept carrying.
I know.
I didn't think it was necessarily going to go out either, and then it just kept carrying.
But we're about to go to the game right now.
I know.
Going straight to Dodger Stadium.
You were so funny last night watching the game in your sequins dress.
You know, it's just been a little overwhelming time, and anything that's going to make me feel good, I'm going to do. And I just felt like the dress would be fun to watch in.
We have to announce our player of the week.
Okay. Did you decide who yours is?
I mean, I think I'm going to have to go with Tommy.
Okay.
I mean, offensively and defensively, he's
True.
showing up.
I was going to
Who was
say,
yours?
well, my top choices would be Yamamoto,
Yeah, he was good.
Dustin May, and Tommy. I had fun watching
Let's-
Conforto run the bases, but him dropping that foul ball,
Conforto's not
He's off
in the
the list.
contending this week.
he's off the
He
list.
is not a contender. Okay, I say, honestly, my gut, I'm going with May.
Oh, okay.
Let's go, May.
Dustin May, you are our player of the week. Congratulations. But we're off to the game, off to Dodger Stadium. We're going with my friend Natalie and her agent, who's a huge Dodger fan
Yeah.
and fan of the podcast. So
Yeah.
that'll be really fun.
And Jackie Robinson night.
Jackie Robinson night. Can't wait to celebrate that and see our team. And we're going to bring home another win.
Yeah.
And as always, guys, the best way you can help us is by liking, subscribing, commenting. Tell us what you like, what you want to hear. That would
Yeah.
mean so much to us. And we hope to meet you this year at Dodger Stadium. Go Dodgers. Dojaju. Oh my gosh, Miley texted me and she goes, if you need help saying go Dodgers in Japanese, let me know.
We do.
I was like,
Jaclyn,
yes,
Jaclyn money.
please.